Hey everybody. So in this one I wanted to talk about appreciation because for me the formulas that I have written from life have all come from the core of appreciation. When I was young and I was going through a lot of things, I realized that to get to where I was wishing to go, appreciation was what was needed. And so I started to appreciate everything. And I mean everything. I appreciated all the lows that I was going through. I appreciated all the shitty things that people were saying about me. I appreciated all of the experiences that I bawled my eyes out on. I appreciated the things that I thought I could never forgive. I appreciated so much because when you decide to do it that way, to view things from that perspective, it changes the way that you see things completely. It shows you that most of those things that you went through that you didn't enjoy were very necessary to help build the character that you were choosing to become. It helps you to see what other people are going through and how hard life is also for them. That it's not, hardships are not only yourself going through it, that literally every single person is going through their own hardships and battles. And that's why that saying where be kinder than necessary, for you do not know what battle each one faces. It's so true. It's because we are so good at wearing the mask of what we think we need to for society. The mask of I'm good. How are you? I'm okay. How are you? I'm fine. How are you? When truly underneath, we are going through some of the worst things that you can even think of. So many people were fighting bravely sicknesses and diseases and conditions, chronic conditions that you would have no clue until one day they collapsed and you found out and you're like, I had no idea you were going through that. You are so strong. You are so this. You are so brave. You are so, wow, warrior. And it blew my mind how many people in life kept to themselves. How many people kept their sufferings to themselves. And it also showed me how many people suffering would then, by keeping it to themselves, be led to, further ailments or having to go to institutions or having to go to hospitals and some passing. And I'm not saying life is easy. I've observed much, and this is how I came up with the formulas for life as well, was because so much of those suffering lives that had regrets and had wishes later on in life taught me that that is not something that I wanted to go through, nor was it something that I think anyone actually wants to go through. It's just something that kind of happened in those times. And now we have the ability to see those and make different choices and create different experiences. And this is how we help each other heal generationally. And that is also part of a ripple, but I'll talk about that more later. The point about that is I started to appreciate the lives before me and the lives after me because it showed what each era would go through to try to make it so that the next era wouldn't have to go through that. One of them was definitely abuse. Another was definitely the way people fight, wars, the way that, the baby boomers came into be and how they tried to work as hard as they could, even though most of them were beaten as children, and then how they brought that on into how they raised children and how some didn't, and then how those ones that were beat tried to make it so that their children are never beat. But then it led to people thinking that children aren't disciplined. There's so many reactions and effects out of formulas chosen, out of choices made. And so it led me to appreciate so much because while it helps you to appreciate the most beautiful lives that don't have to go through any of that, it also helps you to appreciate how much those lives bring into learning. There is so much learning within all that suffering that you make choices for better. And so many people who only live great, beautiful lives don't truly fully appreciate or know what they have unless they decide to be that kind of person, which also isn't easy when it's not something you experience, but only are living through others' experiences. So there's so much to all of that. And so appreciation brought me to all of these places through thinking about starvation and mental illness and depression and people going through their ailments and diseases and trying for cures, and people dying from out of the blue, and people dying slowly. And I mean, there's so many things that unrequited love, and people killing for love, people killing their children because they wouldn't marry what the parents wanted them to do. Like, there's so much that helps you to be appreciative of. Even then, the kids who are still appreciative to the parents after putting them through all this suffering. I mean, human beings are such beautiful creatures, and yet can suffer so much that they become some of the most horrifying of creatures, you know? We are such a complex creation, and it is so beautiful. And I truly appreciate life just in its complexity of awe of what it teaches you. And so all of my formulas that I have come from are based on appreciation for the insecurities of oneself. And I did want to talk about that too, that right now what we're going through in the world with this virus is actually a great time for self-reflection, to take that time to sit with yourself and to, see where it takes you. Where do you wish it to take you, if anywhere? It's truly a beautiful moment in time for this pause and breath. And I am actually really appreciative of it. So I just want to talk about appreciation here quickly like that, because what I'm about to share with you with the formulas of life, I did realize that it's not an easy formula to see or come from if you do not come from appreciation. And so I did realize, even though I did know that I came from appreciation, that a lot of my formulas themselves come from the appreciation foundation. So I just wanted to share that with you all here, and for you all to, sit with what you appreciate. Maybe it's even appreciating yourself for already appreciating the all. Anyways, I love you all, and I appreciate your existence and your being, and thank you for everything. Lots and lots of love. Take care.